You, weary soul, sit alone. Betrayed by lovers, stung by rejection, haunted by failure. Your heart aches, a chaos of loneliness and rage. Why does love slip through your fingers? Why does every connection crumble? The answer lies not in the stars, nor in her fleeting glances, but deep within you, where Sigmund Freud's forbidden truth, the ID, stirs like a restless beast. Today, I unveil this ancient wisdom, raw and unsparing, to awaken you from the ruins of your love life. Core Insight 1, the ID's primal hunger. Freud, the sage of the mind, spoke of the ID. It is the dark, inaccessible part of our personality, a cauldron full of seething excitations. This is your unconscious, a primal force craving pleasure, heedless of consequence. It hungers for her touch, her gaze, her validation. Now, always now, you swipe endlessly on Tinder, chasing the next match, the next fleeting thrill. Why? The ID demands instant gratification. When she ghosts you, your confidence cracks, not because she's cruel, but because the ID screams for her approval, blind to reason. Think of last week's date. You felt that spark, that rush. The ID whispered, she's the one. But when she didn't text back, rage and despair flooded you. That's the ID, untamed, dragging you into chaos. It doesn't care about your dignity, it wants what it wants, and it wants it now. Core Insight 2, the ego's fragile balance. Freud warned, the ego is not master in its own house. Your conscious self, the ego, tries to tame the ID, to navigate the world's rules. But it's weak, caught between the ID's lust and society's demands. You meet her at a bar. She's charming, but the ID surges, lust, need, fear of rejection. Your ego scrambles, don't seem desperate. Be confident. You overthink, stammer, or worse, hide your true self behind a mask of cool. The date ends in silence. Why? The ego failed to balance the ID's raw desire with reality's restraint. Recall that betrayal, when she chose another. Your ego built a story, I'm not enough. But the truth? The ID's blind hunger pushed you to idealize her, ignoring red flags. The ego, frail and overpowered, let the ID run wild. Core Insight 3, repression's hidden cost. Freud declared, unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. This is repression. When you shove the ID's desires into the shadows. You loved her, but she hurt you. Instead of grieving, you buried the pain, told yourself, I'm fine. Now, every new date feels hollow. Why? Repressed emotions fester, leaking as bitterness or insecurity. That's why you flinch when she gets too close, why you sabotage connection before it begins. Last month, you snapped at a woman for a small slight. The ID's buried rage, rejection from years past, erupted. Freud's truth is clear, what you repress doesn't vanish, it poisons your love life from within. Core Insight 4, the pleasure principle's trap. Freud taught that the ID follows the pleasure principle, seeking joy and fleeing pain at all costs. The ID knows no judgments of value, no good and evil, no morality. He wrote, you chase women who thrill you, wild, unattainable, chaotic. Why? The ID craves the high, blind to their flaws. You ignore the kind, steady woman who could love you. The ID doesn't care about your future, it wants the rush now, that fling last summer. She was trouble, but the ID reveled in her drama. When it ended, you crashed, lonely, broken. The pleasure principle lured you into a trap, and your love life paid the price. The wake-up call. Hear me, wounded one, your love life isn't cursed by fate or her cold heart. It's sabotaged by the ID, this unseen force Freud laid bare. Your chaos, betrayal, rejection, loneliness, stems from its unchecked hunger, the ego's weakness, and the poison of repression. But you are not doomed. To rise, face the ID. Feel your desires, raw and ugly, without shame. Let the ego grow strong, guiding the ID with wisdom. not fear. Unbury your pain, let it breathe, lest it festers. Choose women not for the ID's fleeting thrill, but for your soul's deeper call. Closing. You stand at a crossroads, man of chaos. The ID will always stir, but you can master it. Freud's wisdom is your map through the ruins. Dare to look within, to tame the beast, to build a love life not of fleeting pleasure, but of truth. Subscribe for more forbidden truths. Share this with a soul lost in love's wreckage. Until next time, seek the light within the dark.